One backup plan is just to use this.
Silly swingers, get your feeling on the spell. Sassy sisters, come and taste the sweet as can be. Silly swingers. Get your feeling on the spell.
Take a little trip, take a little trip and see. Take a little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip with me.
je suis condamnée. Je ne sais vivre qu'en un maçonnet, je suis condamnée. suis condamnée. Relevez, je ne sais vivre qu'en un raisonner, je suis condamnée. Je suis condamnée. Relevez, je ne sais vivre qu'en un raisonner, je suis condamnée. Relevez, je ne sais vivre qu'en un raisonner, je suis condamnée. Jusqu'une lumière, mon intérieur, ta chaleur a su trouver mon rêve.
Well, sober people know what it's about. Going down the street and let it all hang out. Well, sober people know what it's about. Where people give a sign and shake their hands and dancing to the music of the James Brown band. They're dancing on the good foot. I got to get on the good foot. I got to do it on the good foot. Do it with your good foot. There's a long hair hip and the afro blacks. They all get together across the tracks and they party. Oh, on the good foot. You know the dance on the good foot. Dance on the good foot. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. A whole lot of bills with my money spent. And that's on my bad foot. Oh. You know my face is getting short and I got the blues. I got a funky job and I paid my dues on the good foot. Oh, on the good foot. I got to get on the good foot. Hey, on the good foot. Get on the good foot. Come on, hit it there. You got it. Did it. Did it. Shop it now. Come on, get it done. Hell. On the good foot. On the good foot. Woo! On the good foot. Get on the good foot. On the good foot. On the good foot. Woo! Get on the good foot. On the good foot. Bang! Bang now! Get it down! Get it down! Oh! Down, bang! Lay on it now! Come on! Get it down! Get it! Get on the good foot! I got to get on the good foot. Get on the good foot. I got to get on the good foot. Get on the good foot. I got to get on the good foot. Get on the good foot. I got to get on the good foot. Get on the good
Nee, Gott, das ist ein Aufnahmegerät. Geh weg damit. Da hört man mein Slang mit. Ah.
All aboard, right on time. Time to move on down the line. Find a spot, standing room, window seat to view the moon. Settle down in the bar, maybe in the bumpy car. We'll be there for a while. Now we're traveling in style. All aboard! What you see passing by, well, it sure to gratify. By the sea, in the sand, listen to that Dixie band. Hear the beat, feel it sway, no more stops along the way. We can swing, you can jive, one more day till we arrive.
There are voices in my head,
Check, check, check. Check, check, 1, 2, 3. Check, 1, 2, 3. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 3. All right. Can I get everybody's attention, please? Please stop your demos for a moment and stop your chatting for just a moment. And we are going to go and start our show. So, please, everyone, stop speaking. That's great. Hey, Rich, can you put the webcam on so everybody can see? Okay, off to the side. Here I go. Yeah, there's the webcam. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there it is. Yay! Hello, other side of the room. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, other side of the room. Shh. I can still hear you. And if you look on that television screen, you can see me. Can everybody say hi on the other side of the room? All right. Can everybody say hi on this side of the room? Yeah, this is so great. Oh, man. I didn't know if this was going to work. I'm stoked. All right, so notes. So we're going to kick the show off. We have an amazing Sfvr for you guys, and thank you so much for coming. Really, thank you for making this possible. This is the biggest Sfvr yet. We are now approaching 700 members. Applause. Thank you. This event is live streamed and recorded, so everyone be on your best behavior. This is being preserved for posterity. We have free catering and free beer. Yeah, free beer. So, to thank for that, we have wonderful sponsors for this event. And they are, and I would love to have a round of applause for each and every one of these guys, please, because they're amazing. Unity 3D. World Viz. Jaunt. Pantomime Corporation. Sixense. Condition 1. So we have some wonderful speakers. Speakers for the evening. The first one is Skillman. Ooh, Skillman and Hackett. World Viz. Yes. All right, and our exhibitors for the evening are VR SFX from Los Angeles. They drove up just for this. Yeah, for real. Come on, they traveled for this. Nod. Nod. Yes, give them a nod. Navigate VR. Yep. And Seabright. All right, now, couple special things. One thing that you guys need to know is that the catering for this event is being done at cost. At cost. Round of applause for at-cost catering, right? We're not having to pay for that, which is awesome. And the reason why that is it's being done at cost by Sugarfoot Grits. So I'm inviting Stephanie, who is a Sfvr co-organizer, who also runs Sugarfoot Grits and is doing this event at cost, to come up here and say a few words.
At cost is my new nickname. Say it one more time. It's like a drinking game. At cost. I'm Stephanie. I'm feeding all of you this evening. Yeah, thank you. For those of you who have had Southern food before, you are having very legitimate Southern food tonight. I'm actually from North Carolina. Matt moved here from Nashville, Tennessee. So anyway, I have been co-organizing Sfvr for, I don't know, how long has this been going on? A long time. Anyway, so it's nice to get to feed all of you who have nurtured us in so many other ways. So we love this community, and we're glad to see all of you. And I have business cards if you need some soul food, if you need some Southern food, if you get lunches delivered to your office, et cetera, et cetera. I'll be at the Ferry Building starting this Saturday for November, December. I do Off the Grid. I'm out and about, so I do a lot of different things. Anyway, It's a pleasure to meet you. If you need anything tonight, you can come and find me, and I will do my very, very best to take care of you. So, oh, and the brownies are made by Millie, who's working with me. And so if you need gluten-free treats for the holidays or any sort of sweet treat, Millie can take care of you. And she's also a 2D video game designer, and so she'll be kind of hanging out, chatting with you guys. So I know we do a lot of different things. We cook, and we also like tech. So anyway, have fun. Bye.
That's my lady. Yeah, she's great. Okay, so big news for Sfvr. We have new organizers, and I want to introduce them because they're making this possible. Without them, this event would not happen. It just couldn't. So first up is Cris Miranda. Cris, come on up.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cris Miranda. I am the host of this podcast called Enter VR. It's been going on for more than a year, and I've been having wonderful people in the crowd on this podcast talking about VR and the metaverse and the impending singularity that is going to engulf us all. But most importantly, really, I got to thank all of you for being here. Coming out to these meetups is really, I think, 50% of the work, and now you're here. And from here on out, we build something that is going to, I honestly think that what is happening here is history. And we're here, I think, to build something that will better humanity. In my heart, really, I think that virtual reality will help us all and make life on Earth better for everyone. So I'll be around to help out. If you guys want to chat and go weird places that inhabit my mind, come and chat with me. Talk to you later.
That's awesome. All right, that's Cris Miranda, Sfvr organizer. Next up, Olga Ivanova. Come on up.
Thanks, Matt. I'm very glad to see you all today. So I'm Olga, and I do visual design. I find UX solutions and create fine art. And I've always been very passionate about new technology, especially its collaboration with design and experience. And I plan to merge visual design or any visual UX design with virtual reality. I also enjoy organizing, and I'm a VR Oxygen meetup organizer. And today I'm really happy to help Matt, our amazing team, and all of you to have Sfvr great as always. So I'm happy to see you all today. Thank you.
Great job. All right, and last but certainly not least, Angelo Haizan. Come on up, Angelo.
Hello guys, my name is Angelo. So for me, I'm actually an entrepreneur towards gamifying physical therapy or towards health, utilizing wearables as well as going into VR because I actually want to eventually use VR towards inpatient care, especially when people or patients they can't escape the world of white walls in hospitals. So that's pretty much what I see VR helping into through health. So again, I'm here to help and organize and enjoy.
All right, now the host for this evening. I bet you're wondering, what is this fancy space? How is it so cool? Well, I'd like to introduce the person who's making that possible. Pete Oberdorfer, come on up.
Hello. Welcome everybody. Thanks for coming tonight. There's some really cool demos out there. So I'm looking forward to trying them all out and seeing what Sixense is doing in Condition 1 and Jaunt and all the others. But I'm from Tactic. I'm one of the team here. We're all floating around. We do VR experiences, VR capture, augmented reality, real-time 3D, game engine, WebGL, all that stuff, all that real-time good stuff. So this is our space. We also are work in conjunction with Entropic, which also works out of this space, and they do great visual effects work and broadcast work. Anyway, we're all an integrated unit, and we look forward to showing you our stuff. We're cooking up some really cool stuff. We'll be showing it over the next few months. But anyway, reach out to us if you've got any really cool opportunities, and welcome. Thanks.
Great job. All right, that's it for the announcements. It's time for Skillman and Hackett. Our first speaker, come on up. Give him a big round of applause.
Awesome. Thanks you guys so much. This is really, really exciting for us. We weren't sure exactly what you guys would want to see, and so we just decided to show you everything. Yeah, we've done a whole bunch of work since we started this, even before we started this, and this is kind of an opportunity for us to show you everything that we've been working on, get your feedback on it, and kind of like lead you on the journey that we've been on, and kind of how it's all culminating in, for us, Tilt Brush, which is a virtual reality painting application.
Yeah. I think we should put this here.
Yeah, we're both talking, so it's going to be kind of bouncy.
Right. Drew's going to get that set up. Absolutely thanks, Matt, Sonic, and all of the Sfvr people helping out. We've been coming to this for a long time, and so actually getting to show stuff is huge for us. We're really excited. This is Drew Skillman, by the way, and I'm Patrick Hackett. So, getting started, we're going to run through this kind of quickly. We're going to run through this kind of quickly because we have a lot of videos, like Drew mentioned, and so if I talk kind of quickly, or if Drew talks quickly, just find us afterward.
And we do have a bunch of videos, so I don't know how to transfer.
Oh, right. We need to switch over.
There's like it's a hall of mirrors.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, so Drew and I have a background in video games. We both worked in games for about a decade. For the past 6 years, we both worked at Double Fine Productions down the street in Soma. We're going to show off a couple of the games that we made while we were there. About 3 years before we left to start Skillman and Hackett, we were working on Connect games. One of the Connect games we worked on was a game called Connect Party. It was a series of mini games. We'll show you a short clip here. But each one of the mini games or activities was kind of an exploration in, well, how to deconstruct what the Kinect did. Drew's going to get audio here, but yeah, you can see there was a lot of like augmented. I guess I would refer to it as reality. We refer to it as more of like a magic mirror. Man, gotta stand really close to this thing. Yeah, just in time for the dubstep activity. So after doing all of the Connect work, we were really paying attention to, like the emerging tech in the space and what kind of tech could be adapted for games. Leap Motion had just kind of announced, and so they were right down the street from us. We got in touch with them. We started prototyping some ideas, and we ended up making a game called Dropboard. So after Dropboard, that was about the time that the Oculus Kickstarter happened. Drew contributed to the Kickstarter. We started playing around with that thing, and it turned into this, well, I think it's time for us to leave Double Fine and pursue this stuff on our own. And so...
okay, we had all this experience playing with motion controllers and playing with Kinect and playing with Leap, and then we got the DK1, and it was like, oh crap, we have duct tape, we can put all these things together. And there's a video, if we switch over to it, this is going to be like kind of an onslaught of videos.
Yeah,
so yeah, we might want to just stay in this view because we're going to like burn through a whole bunch of videos. So this is we call it the depth mirror. So it's from the early days. You guys have probably seen things like this now. It's a lot more common. But taking a Connect 2, generating a point cloud data, strapping a DK1 to your head, using the DK1 position, using the Connect to get positional tracking for the DK1, And that kind of opened up this world of possibilities where we could start exploring things that would only be possible with the DK2 before we had our hands on the DK2. And the next thing we tried was like physics interactions. And so we've got a full body skeleton from the Kinect 2. So we're knocking things around. And this is like our tetherball activity, which looks really simple. It is really simple. But these are the types of experiences that were so profound. We were like, okay, well, we have to quit our jobs and do this. This is another one of my favorites. This is Patrick. We played this game where we had to scare each other. Yeah, that's I don't know what to say about that. And then again, Leap Motion. This is like pulling all of our different kind of techniques and trying to bring them to bear in virtual reality. Obviously, shooting a machine gun is kind of like one of the things that you have to do in a new platform. And this was our experiment with using Leap Motion to control a machine gun.
So continuing on with the Leap Motion stuff, we were doing some work with their SDK 2.0. I think at this point they're at 2.1 or 2.2, but the 2.0 was the introduction of the skeleton tracking. And so this was a quick visualization of what it would mean when you switch only to gesture control and how you would take something as simple as navigating a map, but do that, primarily through gesture control. So we did work with that, and then we did more work, but this, of course, was with the Leap Motion pass-through. And so this was, using the DK2 or the DK1, I forget, but also using the pass-through video. And, well, what kind of awesome things you can do with that. So there's this underlying theme for a lot of the work we do. We always keep coming back to music. Like Drop Chord was a music-based game. There was a lot of the activities in Kinect Party that were music-based. I'm going to let Drew talk about this because I don't even know what that is.
This was it's a really short snippet of the end of a music visualizer. We put together a GDC of last year, and that was the first time that we got to see the DK2, and it was so awesome to try it on. And then I immediately tried to turn my apartment into the alternate demo station for positional tracked VR with this weird ass music visualizer thing. But like Patrick said, that kind of like set us down the path of music and VR, and we started doing more music visualizer experiments. This one was actually mobile, targeting mobile, and so it. Okay, we got really good at games. We got really used to post-processing. We got really used to being able to push a lot of polygons, and then all of a sudden, we were on mobile trying to hit 60 FPS with 2 cameras, and like our worlds fell apart. You guys have all probably been through this, but it's like a really, really tough lesson to unlearn everything you thought you knew. And this summer, we made these 4 different music visualizers, and it was kind of like cutting our teeth and learning that everything we thought we knew about development doesn't really apply anymore. And that was really hard, but I'm glad we went through it because, actually, before I get on into what we do next, here's just some more weird-ass experiments. And we have lots more footage on this stuff, so if anyone wants to see anything. Yeah, this was cool. This was like trying to figure out how to do a music visualizer without post-processing. Like, everything has to be real-time. It's so different. Like Milk Drop, all the music visualizers you've seen, like iTunes visualizer, they're all based on accumulation buffers. You can't have an accumulation buffer in VR or you'll throw up. It was hard, but it was so much fun just kind of like playing with that stuff. And then finally mixing it all together. This is like point clouds pulsing to Daft Punk with ribbons of light. I don't know.
Thank you. There was also this point where we're so heavily invested in music that we're like, well, let's just make like an editor. Let's just make an editor so that you can import your music and create like a music visualizer based on the music. And so we were kind of replicating an Adobe Premiere or any sort of program where you can lay those things out. And actually that sadly didn't go much further than what you can see there. But a lot of what we did there transferred to all of the other layer things, like the UI specifically for that music visualizer editor is the inspiration for Tilt Brush, which is our project we'll get to at the end. So there's one other thing we did. We worked with a good buddy of ours, Tyler Hurd. He's an amazing character artist animator. And he, just to like bolster his portfolio, he put together this animated short called Butts. And we saw it and laughed. It was really, it's really awesome. But then we begged him for all of his assets, and we brought it in and made an animated short called VR Butts that, well, it's a tale about overcoming depression through potty humor.
Yeah, butts. Yeah. Transcendent. We're trying to get that up on Oculus Share and other places so people can check it out. We're just like figuring a few bugs out. But anyway, so and that's kind of like most of our experiments over the last few years, and we were working on them especially this last summer, like doing lots of things. But towards the end of the summer, we started working on this virtual reality sketching program, and it was the one that we kept coming back to. It was the one that, like, for the first time, I didn't want to take the goggles off, and we started rewarding ourselves with doing our other work by getting to work on the painting program and getting to make paintings and doing speed sketches and like just kind of like comparing notes. And anyway, it's kind of snowballed into this bigger and bigger thing. And there's a little video that I think will play. Anyway, this was really exciting for us because in addition to being a really, really, really amazing experience, we realized that all of the other work that you just saw actually fits inside of it. And so all of the motion controller work, all of the Kinect work, actually all of the music stuff, I just added the first few music brushes. And so these are brushes that you can paint and they respond to the music. And so you can actually paint your own music visualizer if you want. It's crazy things. And in storytelling, like we showed you Butts, that was like this cool storytelling experience. But this is also a opportunity for us to explore storytelling in different ways. Like we're talking about doing sequencing and being able to kind of explore what it means to just be creative and to be productive inside of VR. And I think that's the thing that made it the stickiest, was actually being like actually able to create things inside of VR is, I think, the nugget of it that like made us keep going back.
Yeah. So all of our, like kind of where we go from here is Skillman and Hackett is wholly focused on Tilt Brush. But what we're going to do is we have a list of features that we need to build out for kind of like our 1.0 build. But we're also looking kind of for partners that are not necessarily in the like software space or in, well, I shouldn't have said software space, but we're just looking for people who can look at Tilt Brush and recognize it and want to adapt it to whatever their product is, whether that's software or hardware. And we'd like to partner with those people and then like let them steer Tilt Brush into that direction.
Yeah, I mean, we really just kind of see it as like this sandbox where we can bring all of these different ideas together and basically do everything that we're passionate about. And so I don't know, I guess it's just really exciting for us. We spent the last long time looking for like the thing that we could sink our teeth into. And through meeting all of you guys and like brainstorming and just kind of like bouncing around in this awesome space for a while, it feels like we finally have it, which is really, really exciting for us. And I guess we kind of owe you guys a thank you for that, because it's all the conversations we've had that kind of solidified that for us. So yeah, thanks. Yeah.
So I hope we didn't talk too fast or go through some of those things too quickly. Matt, I don't know how we're doing on time, if there's time for questions. Perfect. So for Tilt Brush, the user input device is currently mouse and keyboard. And it's absolutely intentional because we don't know what the standard controller input will be. We've done a lot of work with Kinect, we've done a lot of work with Leap, We feel like both of those could translate in. But in the event that we need to get Tilt Brush into the hands of a lot of people quickly, we know that everyone has keyboard and mouse. The other trick to it is that it's the hardest, you know? So we feel like if we solve that one first, then things like Leap Motion will kind of come naturally. What libraries are we using? Well, it's built in Unity. I don't think we're using any crazy external libraries. Yeah, but yeah, definitely Unity. Big fans of Unity. Cool.
That was awesome. One more time, big round of applause for Skillman and Hackett. All right, so one important announcement that I forgot to make. I hope you guys are enjoying this wonderful speaker system that we have. Liking the fact that we can hear this stuff? Yeah? That's due to Bright Light Immersive, our last sponsor. So big round of applause for Bright Light Immersive. Okay, cool. So this is the time where we take folks from the audience who have a short announcement, very short, under 1 minute announcement that they'd like to make. Anybody is welcome to come up. So please come up and form a line. If anybody wants to make a little short announcement to the group, now's the time to do it. We have our first one here. If anybody else has an announcement to make, please make your way to the front. I know there's a lot of folks, but yeah, this is the time to do it. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to kind of make your way to the front here so we can get these announcements from the crowd, which is always very exciting. Because the cool thing is you make an announcement and then people find you after you make your announcement. And so that's how this works, which is super fun. So, all right, here we go. Announcement time. I will be timing you, so please don't make me kick you off. Okay, 1 minute. All right, have fun. Here you go, Robert.
Hi. My name is Rob. I'm from a small company in Selma called Nimble VR. We just started changing our name actually, and we launched a Kickstarter today. We launched a Kickstarter this morning for a time-of-flight camera called the Nimble Sense. It looks like this. We claim it's the most affordable time-of-flight camera. It gives you a dense 3D point cloud that you can actually use for whatever you want. You can bring in bits and pieces of the world around you into virtual reality, including your hands, your arms, your legs, even in bits of your desk if you want to. And we expose all that to developers. What we expose in addition to that is our skeletal hand tracking system. So we think we have the best skeletal hand tracking system in the world, and I invite you guys to try it and give it a shot. We have a little demo set up there, you know, just evaluate it. It's only 99 bucks. It's on Kickstarter. It's live right now. It's called the Nimble Sense. Give it a shot.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everybody. I'm from David O from Leap Motion. We're also a motion controller. We're out in the market globally. I tend to think that we have the best motion tracking in the universe. But anyways, we have over 200 apps in our app store. We actually have a game jam coming up right now. You guys can enter. We have $70,000 worth of prizes. We have a VR mount that it just attaches right to your Oculus Rift. If you want to talk to me afterwards, let's chat and figure out what you're working on, and I'll get you guys set up. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Amber Roy. I'm volunteering here tonight, but I'm also involved with another meetup called WebVR. So if you're interested in browser-based virtual reality, check it out. It's the WebVR meetup on meetup.com. We had our first meetup last month, and we're going to be having one this month, so we'd love to see you there. Or find me if you need more info. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Damon Hernandez. I just want to thank everybody that came out for the VR Hackathon a few weeks back. That was pretty freaking awesome. And all the sponsors, the people that are here that came and made it really spectacular. It looks like we're going to have another one in 6 months. So for those that are interested. And then also for those that are interested in doing Web 3D, not necessarily VR, but it could be performance art, there will be an Autodesk show that is coming up next year that will focus on that. So if you're interested in making really cool stuff like Rome, kind of that ro.me, and WebGL and Web 3D stuff, just keep an eye out to any Autodesk announcements. Thanks, man.
Hi, y'all. I'm Leslie Bell. I'm a member of Pseudo Room, which is a hacker space in Oakland. Just moved to a giant new building. And I'm organizing a transhumanist-themed costume ball on Saturday, November 1st. So if any of you guys are interested in those things, or if you have a VR demo that you'd like to bring out, you're welcome to do so. I'll post the details in the meetup tomorrow.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sky Knight, and I'm publishing a book on November 1st called Virtual Reality Insider. So I've been working on this the last 4 months or so, and it's an overview of the industry. So it goes into kind of the basics of what VR is for those to bring more people in, but it's also an idea kind of stirrer. So it's very common to get kind of into your own idea and not be aware of what's going on around, and this is really meant to kind of help the idea flow of this community as a whole. So yeah, November 1st, Virtual Reality Insider, it's coming out. And if you want to talk about storytelling in virtual reality, come talk to me. All right, thanks.
Hi everyone, I'm Zary McCarthy, and I'm here with Michael Lasky, and we're building a virtual reality math experience to make math more accessible, and we're looking for user experience people because we're PhD students at Berkeley, and we don't do that quite as much, but we really we have a passion for math, and we'd really like to share that, make math more accessible and more tangible, and live in the same space as math, and we're really excited about it. Come talk to us later. Thank you.
Hello, hi, my name is Juan. I come from Belgium. I'm only here 3 days. But I'm going to be the future organizer of the VR meetup in Brussels, capital of Europe. Matt, thank you for letting me in. So we heard about Leap Motion. There's another company you probably have never heard of, but I wish you could give it a try. It's called a company called Soft Kinetic, and they are organizing Reach VR. So if you go on reachvr.com, they're also pitching you to download their SDK. There's plenty of prizes to win. So give it a shot. I've heard it's great. So reachvr.com. Thank you.
Okay. Now's the time where I thank all of you for coming. Thank you so much for being part of this. We have many more segments to come, but I like to give you guys a break, so go eat, go drink, go do whatever you need to do, and we're going to regroup here in about 20 minutes. All right, thank you so much.
Je ne sais vibrer quand par la tonnerre, je suis condamné. Je ne sais vibrer quand par la tonnerre, je suis condamné.
Well, sober people know what it's about. Going down to the crib and let it all hang out. Well, sober people know what it's about. Where people give a sign and shake their hands and dancing to the music of the Dave Brown band. They're dancing on the good foot. I got to get on the good foot. I got to do it on the good foot. Do it with your good foot. Says the long hair hippies and the afro blacks, they all get together across the tracks and they party. Oh, on the good foot. You know the dance on the good foot. Dance on the good foot. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. A whole lot of bills and my money spent. And that's on my bad foot. Oh. You know my face getting short and I got the blues. I got a funky job and I paid my dues on the good foot. Oh, on the good foot. I got to get on the good foot. Hey, on the good foot. Get on the good foot. Come on. Hit it there. You got it. Get it. Get it. Shop it now. Come on, get it. On the good foot. On the good foot. Woo! On the good foot. Get on the good foot. On the good foot. On the good foot. Woo! Get on the good foot. On the good foot. Bang! Bang! Get it down. Get it down. Oh! Ah, bang! Lay on it now. Come on. Get it down. Get it. Get on the good foot. I got to get on the good foot. Get on the good foot. I got to get on the good foot. Get on the good foot. I got to get on the good foot. Get on the good foot. I got to get on the good foot. Get on the good foot.
Mein Gott, das ist ein Aufnahmegerät. Geh weg damit. Da hört man meinen Slang mit.
All aboard, right on time. Time to move on down the line. Find a spot, standing room. Win the seat to view the moon. Settle down in the bar, maybe in the buffet car. Be there for a while. Now we're traveling in style. All What you see passing by, well, it sure to gratify. By the sea, in the sand, listen to that Dixie band. Hear the beat, feel it sway. No more stops along the way. We can swing, you can jive. One more day till we arrive.
Hearing what they say. I'll be on there the whole time. Okay. Oh, yeah.
I'll bring the mic stand over here for you. Oh, mic stand is low. All right. Can you give me the camera back up here? Actually, put this back for you. Can we do the full screen cam? Yeah. All right. Perfect. All right, I'm going to talk directly to the camera. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sfvr. Can I get a cheer? Something. Give me some love. Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Everybody in the other side of the room, can I get a hell yeah? All right. Good, so they can hear me. I love it. All right, cool, guys. Can we get some folks to start migrating back to the back room? We have a very special product release. That's right, something you've never seen before. You have not. It's a reveal. I'm sorry. It's not a release. It's a reveal. You get to see something no one else has ever seen. So make your way to the back. Come on back. There's all kinds of coolness happening back here, so you should come back this way. Come on, folks. If you're talking to someone and they're not walking back this way, you should be like, hey, tap, tap, tap. Come on back this way. Cool stuff is happening. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay. Well, we got some folks watching on the other side. We got some folks here, and this is great. So we have a very, very, very exciting announcement from Pantomime Corporation. That's right. This is a product reveal. Never before seen reveal. You could see it with your own eyes right now if you come to the back. Okay. So here we go. David Levitt from Pantomime Corporation. Reveal for us. Here you go.
How do you do? This is a very exciting moment for us, and I have the honor of being at the company that first commercialized virtual reality 20 years ago. VPL Research, Jaron Lanier, Chuck Blanchard, Young Harville all got together, and Tom Zimmerman with the Data Glove, and invented the first version, or commercialized one of the first versions of virtual reality anywhere.
And it was, at the time, it was all about being in shared virtual worlds. We had a product called a Reality Built for Two, and having realistic graphics, which in those days was a stretch, but it kept getting better, of course. And there was also this element of clothing, putting on a headset. And that came to define virtual reality. And part of what's exciting about today is we're introducing a product that allows virtual worlds and sharing and extreme realism, but where the kind of headset that all of us have associated with virtual reality, especially the last year or two with Oculus, is an optional element. And you can share virtual reality worlds and look around in them and reach into them and interact without necessarily having one of the wonderful headsets that we've all played in. So that's what Pantomime's specialty is virtual reality, not just on head-mounted displays, but on consumer devices, in particular on mobile devices and laptops and desktop computers, the computers that we all have. And the reason this is exciting to people here, or to many people here, is that we don't want to be isolated in an elite where we're the only people who can do virtual reality, where people have to invest in new equipment in order to experience it. We want it to grow quickly. And we think, at Pantomime, we think that the best way to make it grow quickly is for people to be able to experience it even on the mobile devices that they have in their pockets and bags every day. So let me, well, that's got a little here, but I don't mind it too much. But, oh good, this is better amplification. Okay, so let's, maybe, I didn't turn down the audio, blah, blah. Just a minute. Okay, so good. So now you can see the screen of an ordinary desktop computer, and I think someone is about to enter the stage. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. This iPad is about to play Pantomime Soccer. Now, if you look at the left side of the screen, looks like a score happened. I don't hear our audio though. We should be hearing the crowd cheer when the ball goes in. Anything? We got silence when we hit the ball. Okay. There we go. Starting to get a sound. So Pantomime is not only the name of our company, it's the name of an unusual technology that allows very accurate tracking of mobile devices of the sort you're seeing there. Every motion that I'm making on a surface, or even in the air, as if pantomiming that I'm on a surface, is accurately and instantly captured. And because we're not using any cameras or vision algorithms, it happens instantaneously and really at the rate of the gyroscopes and accelerometers inside the device, up to 100 times a second. Small, very small delay. Now, the game that we're revealing, as you might have guessed, is Pantomime Soccer. And the soccer field that you're looking at is part of that experience. The Jumbotron that you're looking at lets us see multiple devices in the world. And I stress that we have no way to put a camera on the device easily, so each of you, if you haven't already, should step up to the booth and see it directly. But let's look at the field in the Jumbotron and touch the ball. So one of the great things about So one of the great things about this particular environment is that the Jumbotron lets us see everywhere the ball might be. Let me hit it into the court again. Now, navigation in this virtual reality variant is unusual, but it's actually very familiar because it's exactly how you navigate the world since you were 1 year old. You walk, and the way you do that is by changing your support over time. So if I want to hit the ball, I stand on one foot and kick it with the other. There also, of course, are standard ways to navigate, including panning, which looks like skating in this environment. So if I move forward and back, up and down, I move forward and back. If I move left and right, then I move that way. And when I want to hit the ball, I can use any of those techniques. And there's a third technique, because so let me explain pantomime technology for just a moment. Ordinarily, you're trying to make a 6th degree of freedom tracking happen, and that's why we have the wonderful but somewhat more expensive Oculus system. But turns out that you can get the same accuracy if you remove 1 degree of freedom. So, for example, if you say, this device is staying on this surface, then we know just by how I'm turning it where it is in all degrees on this surface. And what we have is 6 degrees of accuracy with a constraint. Keep it on the surface or keep it on a virtual surface. Now, you might say you can actually not leave the surface, but that's not true. I can support it from something other than the table, like my hand. So I can travel upward and around in the surface, and I can even hit the ball with some leverage. And these Jumbotrons help me see exactly where the ball is. And let me grab it. And when it's and when a new ball is served, it's served to the center of the court. Let me show you the very simple things that you learn the first moment that you use the Pantomime soccer system. You can hit the ball into the goal. You can dribble the ball. Or you can swing with lots of leverage from your wrist. And excuse me for not having a virtual cameraman to keep the scene visible at all times, but here I'm swinging through the ball and getting lots of leverage. So at the beginning of the game, you're in actually, Richard, would you play Pantomime Soccer with me for a moment? Why don't you use this iPad? Actually, we have a 4-player game, and in a moment I'll show you 4 people using the system who had never used it before, and you'll see that we can actually have some team play in this game. So now I was saying that wearing clothes or wearing special gear is optional inside of virtual reality for us, but for our devices, they love to wear things. And our first corporate partner is the Grip Case, and this blue suit that Richard's iPad is wearing. Notice that the system knows how big it is, and he has more leverage and can take bigger steps. And here we are together on the playing field. So let me take the focus off the big screen and actually interact with the ball. I got it past Richard. My turn. Oh, got it away from me. So there's a lot more to see. It's quite easier to see directly, but let me show you a minute of video that we shot of my family, or my nephew, and discovering this on Sunday evening. Oh, we gotta see what you guys are doing though. So there's Ben and Rich, and there's the other players.
Oh
yeah. Whoa. That's working. Oh, and actually just stand a little further apart. We'll see the back in between. Great. No, it's a little closer. A little closer. That's perfect. Wait a minute. How did you get the hand to do that? It's Yellow Submarine. Ben. That's my 4-year-old nephew. Move slightly to your left. I've almost got all 4 of you. Yeah. That's fantastic. So, another score for the yes team. So let me tell you briefly about the company and wrap up. The company was founded this spring. We quickly won the Launch Silicon Valley Award for Best Mobile and Digital Media Startup. And we're just ending a friends and family round where we've raised $250,000 and are entering a seed round. And we will be entering beta testing in November. We would love for the people in this room to join us and become among the hundreds of beta testers that are going to make Pantomime Soccer into a great product. As you can see, it's a reveal and it's in alpha and there's lots of tuning that needs to happen. But we're really eager to participate with this group and have you be a part of this great product. So thank you very much for your attention. Please come to the booth and play with it yourself.
That was awesome. Big round of applause for David Levitt, Pantomime Corporation. Okay, we have a couple short announcements from some amazing companies. First up, Condition 1, Chris Wheeler. Big round of applause for Chris Wheeler.
All right, what's going on, guys? Chris Wheeler, Condition 1. So today we are releasing our documentary film. It's full 3D 360 film. It's on Steam. You can get a free 2-minute demo, as well as purchase the full film on Steam today. We are doing demos up front, so please feel free to come by and try it. And thank you very much.
Have to go to the next. All right, thank you, Chris. Next up, Sixense. Amir, are you here? I actually don't see Amir. Amir, all right. Going once, going twice. Nope. All right. Oh, he's coming. Okay. All right, Amir's coming. Come on, Amir. There he is. Amir has entered the building. A big round of applause for Amir. He's here. The party can start.
Hi, everybody. My name is Amir Rubin. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Sixense. I look good. So today we wanted to make an announcement. We've been supporting VR for many years professionally. We've done a lot of work in VR for many years, and it's always been a PC. It's always been about a very advanced personal computer that can push a lot of polygons and do very fast rendering and all that kind of thing. And then we met Samsung. Earlier this year, Samsung flew to our office. We had our software team and our hardware team, and we basically told them, we don't believe it's doable. You will not be able to render. You will not be able to run VR on a phone. It's 5 years away. And they basically flew in from Dallas, brought an earlier version with, at the time it was the Sfvr, and blew us completely, blew our mind. We could not believe what we've seen. It was even people as skeptic as Owen here, our lead programmer, that basically wrote it off, had to admit that what they achieved with the help of Oculus, but what they achieved is by far, I believe, second to the DK1 or second to the first prototypes that Palmer put together, a game changer for VR. And from that point on, we started working with them. And slowly but surely, we worked up into the better phones and better SDKs, and eventually we got to the point that we've decided that our current STEM system that is planned to start shipping next month with the SDK will have full support for Android, will come with full support as a dev kit for Gear VR. And we took upon ourselves as a small company to take a sponsorship position for the Samsung Developer Conference, which is starting next, it's November 11th to the 13th. And we will show to everybody that tried our lightsaber demo, trained as a Jedi, or the shooting gallery, every single one of our demos is available and will be demoed at the Samsung Developer Conference in the Moscone Center. So I would like to invite all of you. It's unfortunately a little expensive. This is a typical big company developer conference. If you attend, you will be able to see the Gear VR working with one STEM controller, at this point communicating directly to Bluetooth Low Energy, BLE, to the Note 4. Our head position tracker is giving you full position tracking. Again, it's still in wireless. So again, you'll say, how the hell are you able to meet the latency requirement for head tracking? So together with the help of both Samsung and some other good companies that are involved in the whole ecosystem of mobile, we were able to reduce the latency. We cannot give you the 4.2 milliseconds that we do with our proprietary dongles that you see in the normal STEM system. That's separate. But we can do direct communication via Bluetooth to the Note 4 at 7.5 milliseconds. Now, I'm again inviting everybody online that can see us now, and everybody here that is a developer, to make an effort and make it to the developer conference of Samsung, because I believe that, for everybody that cares about VR, you have to remember that the first experience of VR is most likely will be Gear VR for the mass market, for the majority of the people. We like it or not. Again, we are very unique demographics. We are not the people that's going to make VR successful. By developing applications, yes, but not by buying it. And therefore, the kiosk in Best Buy, where Gear VR is demonstrated, needs to have great applications to basically show what VR is about. Not everybody can come to meetups. We need millions and millions of people to be interested in VR to make it successful. So developers, like all of us, are ready to come and support the VR experience. So again, thank you very much for allowing us to make this Matt, I would like to thank you for giving us this opportunity. And now you can take.
Wow. Okay. Sixense is coming to Gear VR. Who's excited about that? Show of hands. That's everybody. Come on. That is so cool. All right. That's news. That's exciting. That I did not know. So now I got to think about that. All right. So in the meantime, while I'm contemplating what that means for the world, let's get on with our next announcement. This is Jaunt. Give your applause to Jaunt. This is Arthur from Jaunt.
Hey guys. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Condition One for shipping their VR documentary. It's very fun, especially the buffalo. You got to check it out. So we also have a little bit of a announcement to make. We're showing our mission trailer here for the first time. The mission is a World War II reenactment that we shot in Petaluma. We had an actual German tank brought in, explosions, soldiers. It's actually really fun. Go check it out. So for those of you who don't know what Jaunt does, we make a full end-to-end production system for VR content, live-action VR content. We call it cinematic VR, which means, we have a camera, we have software to encode it, we have distribution apps, we support different platforms, and hopefully before the end of the year we'll be able to launch it and share it with you all. I also want to make a small announcement regarding the Pantomime demo you saw earlier, which is awesome. I just joined their board of advisors because I'm very excited about what you can do. Thanks, David. With very simple means and still get a great social VR experience, which I think is one of the first as far as I can tell. Okay, so come see our demo and have fun.
Great job, Arthur. Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, and our last announcement. I would like to invite up the UploadVR folks. Come on up. All right. Taylor. Yes. Nick.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Wonderful event. Thank you. So my name is Taylor Freeman.
I'm Nick Ochoa.
We're from Upload. Is that good? From UploadVR. We are actually excited to announce a rebranding that's going to be coming out at the end of this week. So we'll be sending it out to our group. Make sure to stay tuned in. I want to tell you guys a little bit about Upload, what we believe in, why we exist. We believe in three things. We believe that people need to experience this technology because without experiencing it, there's no way to understand the full potential. Second, we need to connect people to others that are interested in this technology so that they can become a community and they can start creating products. And our last is to inspire action. So giving demos that really show the full potential, asking people to get involved, asking people to do their part to make this a real movement. So I invite you to join us on that. And Nick has a little special announcement to make.
Hello. So with the whole mission of connecting and inspiring people around VR, Upload is going to be launching in Q1 of 2015 an 11-city tour across the US and Europe. We're going to be hitting Seattle, Vancouver, DC, Boston, New York, Toronto, London, Amsterdam, Berlin, and LA. We're going to be bringing our event series there. We have some great people on board to help support us, all around the mission of bringing VR to the masses and really opening up these experiences to as many people as possible. At the same time, getting the developer communities engaged and involved with content creators and designers. We want to push forward virtual reality together. We exist to spread the magic of VR. You'll see that in the little tagline you get with the branding release that comes this week. But the World Tour is something we're really excited and passionate about. So I hope you guys kind of follow us along this journey. We'll be putting out a bunch of content, videos, photos. We'll be live streaming and capturing the events. But World Tour 2015. So get ready. And thank you, Matt.
You guys rock. Awesome, man. Great job. All right, cool. That's it for our announcements for this segment. Do not go anywhere. We have one final segment, and it's going to be an amazing one. So stick around. One last segment, but for now, go do what you need to do. Get a drink, get some food, play with the demos, do what you got to do. Come back in a few minutes. All right, bye. Great job.
Mein Gott, das ist ein Aufnahmegerät. Geh weg damit. Da hört man mein Slang, Mensch. Ah.
Time to move on down the line. Find a spot, standing room, window seat to view the moon. Settle down in the bar, maybe in the buffet car. We'll be there for a while. Now we're traveling in style. What you see passing by, well, it sure to gratify. By the sea, in the sand, listen to that Dixie band. Hear the beat, feel it sway, no one stops along the way. We can swing, you can jive, one more day till we arrive.
right. Can you go to the webcam? Can we do the webcam? Taking off? Yeah. Got our last speaker. Hey guys. All right. Everybody in the other room say yeah. They're still there. Yeah, all right, cool. All right, guys. What I need is everybody in the other room needs to come to this room. Please come now. Thank you. Please start making your way. Yes, that's right. We got one. Come on. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the mic down, and I'm going to personally come and get every one of you. But I'm going to be angry about it, so if you come now, it'll be very pleasant. All right. 1, 2. All right, here I go.
Hello, 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 hello. If you are in the back or in the front, you need to come to the back because there's a big announcement and it's a little empty out here. We're a little lonely. You guys are all having fun trying to demos. We're back here ready to hear some exciting news. You're going to miss out on it. You're not going to be able to tweet about it. You're not going to be able to Facebook it or Instagram it. You're missing out. So get the hell back here.
Thank you, Nick. I could not have done that. That is so awesome. That's exactly what needed to be said. What he said times 10.
Get the hell back here.
That's so awesome. All right. All right. Yes, now we're talking. Now people are back here. Now if you're in the front, you're missing out on all this stuff in the back because that's where everybody is. All right. All right, cool. So we're going to do this thing now. We have our second speaker of the night. This is an amazing, amazing company. I'm so glad that they're here, and they're a sponsor for this evening as well. So I'd like to introduce Jeremy from World Viz. Please, round of applause for Jeremy.
Thank you, Matt. Can everybody hear me okay? Excellent. Okay, so my name's Jeremy, and I work as a developer at World Viz. And I'm really excited to be here tonight to tell you a little bit about my work and what our company is all about and how that might be of interest to this community. So it's been a pleasure to give a demonstration to most of you. As I'm looking around and seeing your faces, you were able to experience flying, like the microphone closer, okay? So you're able to fly in virtual reality, and I'll talk a little bit about what goes into making the flying happen and the building blocks there. So the name of my talk is Flight Vectors, and at this point I'd like to get the slideshow up on the monitor here. We'll start at the title slide. There we are, Flight Vectors. So this talk is aimed at an audience of VR developers. How many VR developers do we have here in the audience? Excellent, okay. And the other prerequisite for what goes into making an experience like this is a basic familiarity with vector addition. How many feel familiar with this notion? Okay, excellent. So we'll get into the details more momentarily. So the idea of flying in virtual reality is not my own invention. I just come to be working on it recently. Here's a few colleagues of mine, Taki and Chris, who I work with, who have done a number of different variations, and our colleagues at the Virtual Human Interaction Lab at Stanford have also done quite a bit of work in the flying arena. So I've just come in and said, hey, this is nice demo material. We can make a quite simple, minimalistic app, and it can serve as a nice way to see under the hood for our technology. And so I'll go into that a little bit here. So 3 things that I'll talk about here in the following order. Why flying is nice. And then I'll share a little bit about the minimalist flyer concept. And then show you a little bit about what goes into building it with Vizard. So Vizard is our company's main product. You can think of it as a VR engine. And it's about 20 years in the making. We've been commercial with it for 12 years. And it's mostly how we do business. It's one of our core VR tools. And we sell VR tools as a company. So Vizard is what I work in on my day-to-day. And, well, we'll get into that more in a little bit. So why is it nice? The biggest reason why it's nice is that it's not walking. It's much easier to do than walking. I mean, it's kind of the opposite of real life, where in real life walking is easier than flying. In virtual reality, flying is actually much easier than walking because you don't have to actually know where you are with respect to the real world. You don't have to have position tracking. It's necessary to have that for walking around, and that's something that we do specialize in, but it can be kind of magical to be able to do without that and to have a cool experience where you don't actually need to know your position. So everything that you saw there tonight was orientation only as a basis for determining how you move throughout the virtual coordinate system. The other reason flying is nice is because you can do it quite minimally. You only really need to have a velocity. So which direction are you going and how fast are you going? And to do that, and that gives you your displacement. So every time a new frame is drawn, you change your viewpoint to be at the location of the new position, which is calculated based on the sensor input. So the sensor input is where we get into the vector addition. So here's the concept. You have a vector which is determined from an orientation sensor on one hand, and the same thing on the other hand. And those orientation sensors, could be anything. What I'm showing out there is a third-party product by a company called InnerSense. And with those, you get your yaw pitch and your roll of your forearms. You can then find out the forward vector, which way each arm is pointing. And quite simply, you just sum those together every frame. So if my arms are pointing parallel, then that would be maximum velocity in the direction that my arms are pointing. And as I move them to get closer to being anti-parallel, I'm going to go to 0. I'm going to be hovering, basically. So I have a little illustration of that here, a live illustration. We'll let this load up here. So I have the same inertial sensors here. So here's where we can kind of bridge the gap for those who are not so familiar with the notion of vector addition. So here's a nice coordinate system. We have quite a bit of latency in the broadcast system. So 2 sensors on my arms. I spread them apart. And you see that the yellow line and the yellow ball acts accordingly. The 2 gray arrows represent the forward vectors of your wrists. So that's the concept. That's what goes into flying. And every frame you say, okay, where's that yellow ball? What kind of vector is that? Okay, move the user accordingly. Here's where I go into a little bit about what Vizard's all about. We just recently released the 5th version of Vizard. And with the 5th version comes this triple Venn diagram. There's 2 new bubbles that didn't exist before that now exist, and they're equally important. I mean, we've embraced Python scripting in our engine for many years, but now we also have this device configurator and the scene editor. And so those two things came together to make the sample flying app here. So I'll show you a little preview of each of those. We'll start with the device configurator. Little microphone adjustment. Oh yes, thank you. Okay, so this is a basic preview of the device configurator window, and this is one of the real core strengths of Vizard, is that we support a wide variety of hardware devices, and you can bring them together, make them behave in the way that you need them to behave for your application, and it allows you to make your application configuration independent. So it's kind of like principle of Java, where you write once and you run anywhere. So you separate your application script from your configuration. You can run the same thing with different hardware, different arrangements. There's a whole collection of objects up here: trackers, displays, inputs, transports, avatars, tools, events, all important ingredients for building up a VR experience. I'll give you a little preview of the configuration that I just showed for the vector visualization. We have the two trackers for the left arm and the right arm. We have basically one display. And it's a little bit cut off by the broadcast here. I'm going to move it over. This is an important notion to configuring your VR experience, is the scene graph, the hierarchical relationship between the objects and their coordinate systems and the transformations. So what we're going to be moving every time we have a velocity and a position displacement is we're going to be moving this thing that I've named the view control group. The display is a child of the view control group, so every time we move the view control group, the display, which is the thing you wear on your face, or in this case the TV, moves along with it. And then just a little preview of the scene editor. The native format for Vizard is Open Scene Graph. It's something that we've embraced for many years as well. Our native workflow goes through 3ds Max, so it has that advantage of, let's try to get rid of the feedback here, it has the advantage of the photorealism built into the workflow. So here's the city that you saw. And we can do a number of basic things that really come in handy for rapid iteration for a VR app. You can view the scene graph and the hierarchy, and you can copy and modify and delete and transform nodes, etc. So there's a little preview of that. And then the final thing I'll show you, if you haven't experienced it for yourselves immersively in the Oculus DK2 over there, then I'll show you what it looks like when you put all those things together with a 2D preview. So we'll have this load here. In this case, the viewpoint is fixed. It's just a 2D window. So you don't have the ability to rotate your head independently, but you can see as I manipulate the trackers here, I can change my flying direction. And there you have it. So I've shared the source for the app freely if any of you are interested. There's a URL there on my final slide. And I'd be happy to make myself available for questions now if there's a few moments, or later out in the hallway, or email correspondence. So thank you for letting me share this basic under the hood vision of Vizard. I don't know how I did with my time. Maybe we still have some time for questions. Okay, one or two. First question. Sure. So, gotten this question many times throughout the night. Vizard is in many ways a competitor of Unity, or Unity is a competitor of Vizard. They do the same thing. They allow you to take your building blocks and put them together and create a script for defining how the program logic works and the sequencing. A few advantages of Vizard. First is that it's VR specific. So it's been 20 years in the making, and it's embedded in the conceptual framework of virtual reality, whereas something like Unity is more dispersed among games on different interaction types and platforms, 2D, 3D video games. This is VR specific. So there's a certain advantage there for not having to do as much shoehorning of the features that you want to develop. Most of these canonical VR items are built in with Vizard. So that's how I see as the biggest usage benefit. And then there's also the wide hardware connectivity, which is that we support a large number of hardware devices. We're quite hardware agnostic as a company, and if a new device comes along that we see as successful, we want to incorporate it and build an extension for it. Okay, that was a long question, so thank you for the one question. Thank you, everybody.
That was awesome. Yes, Jeremy, World Viz, incredible company. I'm so glad they could be here at Sfvr, and I'm so glad Jeremy can be here. He's a great guy. You should talk to him. He's an amazing developer and a nice person. Okay, so the last two quick things that we're going to do. First thing is I want to introduce you guys to Millie. Millie made your brownies. Who had a brownie? Hand raised. Yeah. They were good, right? Yeah, I know. All right, here she is. All right, round of applause for Millie. Millie is also a very, very talented graphics artist and has a background in the gaming industry and is awesome. And so she's going to say a couple words.
Hello there. I'm not very good at doing this, but nice to meet you all. I worked in video games for 5 years, mobile games. I worked on the Oregon Trail series on the iPhone. I did a lot of pixel art in my time. I worked for a game loft in New York City for about 5 years, and then I took a little break and am ready to get back into the digital video game world. And I do illustration, animation, whatever you need. So, and I make brownies. So thank you.
All right, and one last person who very, very much needs to be thanked. Rich DDT, who's been running our AV for the entire night. Probably the most complicated setup I've ever seen. Here you go, Rich. Thank you so much. Big round of applause for Rich.
Hey guys, it's really exciting to see Sfvr grow so rapidly with a really engaged community. And I'm excited to be presenting a complicated AV setup to bring this not only to the definitely more than 100 people here, but to the entire internet audience. And I just want to talk a little bit about what I do independent of this. I am an interactive multimedia artist. I work with digital technology and introduce new technology to people in a way that is engaging and combines the music realm and visual projection realm, giving people an opportunity to create and collaborate new art together. And there's an event happening on November 28th. It's LoveTech, lovetech.org. And it's featuring performers that are making new musical instruments. It's the future of live electronic music. And all the performers, a lot of them are designing instruments from scratch that they're playing. And it's going to be a great celebration of the future of electronic music, as well as showcasing interactive digital art for people to make music together. And I'd love to talk to anyone who's interested in bringing interactive digital art forms to the public. I do a lot of showcases in museums and have a complete listing of really cool interactive experiences on richddt.com. And just excited to meet more of you in the virtual reality realm and take these experiences and bring them into the physical realm for people to collaborate with each other creatively. Thanks so much.
Great job, dude. That was awesome. All right, that's it for our speakers. Go enjoy the demos. We have some more demo time. Big round of applause for yourselves. Thank you for supporting VR. All right, have fun, guys. Show's over at 10, so enjoy. Go have the conversations. Play the demos. Do what you need to do. And again for coming out.
Sassy sisters dressed in nothing but silk underwear. Silly swingers, get your feeling on the spell. Sassy sisters, come and taste so sweet as can be. Silly swingers.
All my friends know the low rider. The low rider is a little higher. Low rider flies a little slower. Low rider is a little colder. Hey. Low rider, low very sweet, yeah. Low rider is the one to meet, yeah. Low rider don't use no gas now. Low rider don't drive too fast. Take a little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip and see. Take a little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip with me.
Je ne sais vivre qu'en paratonnerre, je suis condamné. Je ne sais vivre qu'en paratonnerre, je suis condamné. Je ne sais vivre qu'en paratonnerre, je suis condamné. Je ne sais vivre qu'en paratonnerre, je suis condamné.